Morning, everyone. So this is today's flow session that has been building over the past couple of days in relation to everything that we are expanding on. So this is part of the world in my diagram. There's planet Earth's line here, all of us little people on it, and then this line across here is our consciousness level at the moment, and then the arrows on some of the people are the fact that we are waking up like a ripple effect, helping each other remember that there is more available. Okay, our souls are helping rise the consciousness. So that's the fact of the evolution, that we are remembering there is more available. So we accept, even if we don't know it, that there is more to us. And I'll talk about that soon. And we bow our heads to our chest and let God in through you. So this is all relating to the flow we're going to unravel together. And so this first line is to do with how far what we have concentrated on so far. But we're opening more to heart intelligence, and this is the expanse we haven't been in. So I just think we needed this diagram as an example to show us that that is what's happening. Like, there is more availability when you invite in the fact that heaven is through you. You are one with higher consciousness, because that is our design as well. And I know you have heard me say that plenty of times, but this is what we let sink into our blood and bones, that we accept, even if we don't know it, that there is more to us. And in the quiet, if you bow your head to your chest, you can let God in through you. It is an acceptance, and it is a resignation when you bow your head to your chest. And let's talk about that now. So I still do have Matthias doing his assisting, holding back, which he does in my field, because in his rising consciousness, just like the planet as well, we have to move away from thinking life has to be anything, has to be a certain way, people have to work a certain way, which is a limited perspective, and it is the forgetting about percentages of who is waking to this consciousness evolution fact and who wants to keep things the same. That's, to me, more of a limited number as well, because like that diagram showed, that if there was I drew 7 arrows amongst, 20 little people there, giving an example that it just takes a few of us to emanate this acceptance, and it's very powerful. So those that still think like the 3D, that they're going to fight, or they're going to try and block or hold life to be a certain way, they're the limited ones. That's why when, you know, sometimes when I really distance myself, where I feel like I'm a lot distant from it now, but when I used to have to coming through my evolution in this phase, like this time period, I remember I did a video where I just had to have like a laugh about it, because if you are thinking life has to stay the same and you're enforcing that, it's just complete limitation, when you know the whole picture is you attract via vibration. It's a law. And so what you do is going to play out for you. So it's like if you're enforcing limitation on like a happy life experience or something, then you're only enforcing that really for yourself. Humanity has given into this with shiny objects, like, you know, like Trump, like the ideal of like wealth and whatnot, even though we know he's like a criminal and that a lot of the money is from all different situations that we'd prefer not to know about. At the consciousness level of not believing in ourselves that we are more, we will just be like, ooh, shiny objects, you know, and be drawn to that leadership salesman. And so just trying to draw us in like bugs to limitation, because it hasn't caused us, as we can see now, true happiness or anything. It's actually the opposite. And so it is just showing under a magnifying glass the limitation. So he's actually like the bug that's getting focused on, like as a collective representative of whoever is still so enthralled with his nonsense. He's the epitome of nonsense. I can't believe what we've all come through actually to do with him. Like, I will always look back in this lifetime in like dismay at the Oval Office scene where he had Zelensky telling him that he should have been thanking Trump. Like Trump was telling Zelensky he should have been thanking him. I'm like, oh, you are just atrocious. He's just fake to the frickin' core. Like a walking puppet. So, we are not that. And we know it. We have been magnified with heaven, like on a large scale. Let's all get the magnifying glass out and not along the same lines of what any limited mind would think. It's like when you're in limitation, you think that what you're doing, even if you're trying to hide it, you think that how you operate is actually true, or what the world is actually doing. Like some of the crap that's come out of his mouth, Trump's mouth. When the world is full of, like, not all of it obviously, but good intent, wanting good for each other, happy to live in a civilization where we can walk down the street, buy our groceries, enjoy something, smile at a few people even if we'll never meet, feel good. Yeah, there is a soup full of shit as well. So like there is that energy of all sorts of stuff. But what do you concentrate on? Because what kind of world are you trying to make? That's what it comes down to with law of attraction, utilizing our consciousness system. Do you act like a pathetic jerk that takes a shit on everyone? Well, that's what it's come down to, so I don't care if it offends anyone. And my point being is I keep going back to, we are not this crap fucking limitation. And it's so good, and it shines out when we're actually speaking directly to it. So most of us are aware that we ought to be thankful for the truth, that we are coming out of the squashing period into the light of who we really are. But still, in our rising consciousness, aside from the fact that there is limiters who want us to believe and divide us against each other, we accept that even if we don't know it, when we come up against anything in life, we can normally run into the head. So that looks like discontent. And it can happen at any time, intensity, various situations. But there is nothing stopping you, anyone, us, to resign it and just pop your chin to your chest. Ask for it to be taken. Like any difficulty, don't try and let your head have all the answers. Head to your chest and let God in through you. Because that's where you find God. In the resignation that what you may think, what you may have learnt so far, in any moment that you can't work something out, it's not because you're meant to pummel away back in 3D anything. Now, I'm talking about when we honestly get to a part that feels like it's at our chest, whatever it is. It can happen in a conversation where you didn't know how it was going to go, because this is expanse. You don't know what's going to happen next. So you can go to your head, but if your head asks you to do something that's of a more heavier response, think twice before you act on it, because your law of attraction. So this can happen at any time across the board, So you don't literally all the time have to put your head to your chest. I'm not telling you that's the only way to find resignation and light from the interior resource, because you can do it at any time just by turning your attention to something else, taking a breath, so much so as to you can become one with something else you enjoy and completely let go of the situation, and then you'll feel a fuller inspiration of God through you. Or in the moment, say, you can only just redirect your attention, stare into space, but it is a conscious, the head to the chest is a conscious, I'm resigning my head. Like, head is, it'll want you to struggle if you stay in head energy too much. Like, you will feel a struggle to try and find an answer, a fix, or questioning, and then you might go round and round in the questioning. Okay, it's good, but come back to your breath, redirect, resign. I don't have all the answers. You're letting it fall to the earth, and when it falls to the earth, you'll get a clearer feed the more you've resigned whatever it was. You'll get a clearer feed, come back up. You'll easily receive inspiration that way. Like, if you don't embody the problem or the questioning, or I want to be a good human and have the right answer and have the right everything and blah, 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 or why can't I get this right, or I never seem to find my way, or any of the lines of questioning we can let build up in our head, our body. And when I say body, I mean like slow down energy function in our systeming flow. So that's all of us, like all of our being. We slow everything when we get stuck in thinking we have to know. We should have had it figured out by now. I should be some superhuman, or I am this, I should know, etc. We're not letting in God. Essentially, we're from heaven, right? So we don't detach from heaven. We're just in bodies. So we have a certain amount of awareness of our soul and our higher self connection to our heavenly body, spirit. You have to match the frequency. So you redirect away from the head struggle. You feel better. So your resignation, flow, that's the flow you want to be in. You let God in. So he, so the energy of you. So when we say he for God, it's fine, right? He, she, whatever. But I like to think of when we say he, it's more about the letting in into manifestation, the letting into, we let it in to our physical experience. Whereas, yeah, it's such a twist really, because when you think of Mother Earth, you think she is the physicality, right? But we're nothing if we don't realize we are heaven, and if we let heaven in, we're manifesting. So Mother Earth, like mother, is like she, and father is like he. So together, us children create here. So, so he can help redirect you, and Mother Earth has helped cleanse you. If we were doing that more by now, there would be more calm, ease, and peace inhabiting the planet. Like Mother Earth, us, listening to heavenly assistants working with. So heavenly assistance isn't under any religious banner. It is quite simply, like I said, do it however you want to, but to simplify it, it's bowing to the chest to let the power of God light that is you, you're letting it through, fuel you. Or you're trying to figure it out yourself. So I think that's it. But if I could offer some tips, just little reminders of some words, is you're essentially letting go. And when you let go, life gets easier. But I'm glad how my guides assisted the flow of the message to remind us of the heaven and earth and us in the middle. Let's use the flow. And excuse me. And keep doing what we're doing. Because I still can't believe I have an immature energy to contend with Matthias De Stefano. You know what he just did? He just gave me a putrid smell. He must be dealing with putrid feelings himself, because I'm certainly not. It's just horrible to be aware of that. It's pathetic, because what started this flow, contemplation, was the immaturity of being so specific, almost like a God complex, like that he still demands life from, he's one of the ones down here in the consciousness, from life, that life should be a certain way. When the beauty of the expression of what I live is like, I wouldn't dare do that to anyone. That would make me feel like a righteous bastard, that my soul, apparently, and it's not of soul nature, it's of dumb human nature, that my dumb human nature doesn't have a bigger perspective of love, light, law, that my, because it's not soul, because I keep going to go, that my soul, because I would never imagine doing it. You know, I'm not saying my soul has been eternally perfect, because you don't get to a full living, loving awareness of the bigger picture and have it flow through you if you haven't learned stuff along the way in all your soul's lives. That's the whole point of expansion, right? We're assisting Earth to become more truthful living. Like, you're really from heaven. This is all situated here in a expansive universal operation. Who in the hell comes here, pretends to know that, but yet operates as though, I just have not very nice names to call people who do that, like a blanked out bastard of a human that says, you will operate the way I say. You must have yourself in such a horrid mental state. You are like a commodity of 3D. You would be like one of Trump's handbags. And that is all relatable to the smell frequency you delivered grossly across my nose. So I've had to contend with like being a babysitter to this bloke for years. Oh, Christ. It's that simple that when you... I don't need to go there. My guides are telling me don't go there. There is just a simplified version that you know, you're responsible for yourself. You want to act putrid, don't expect anything from life. Like, is that what you come here to give out to life? Oh, look at those roses. Look at those flowers. Yeah, I might give some flowers. I'm not going to give flowers. I'm going to give putrid smells. That says more about you, dick brain, and congrats. My pity lasts about 5 seconds. So yeah, life has a beautiful way of delivering you where you're meant to be if you get out of the fucking way. It's coming full circle to the whole thing that I've mentioned, that we can stay in our heads and do some of the dumbest banging our head, why haven't I? And then we take that energy, why haven't I? You know, got all I want or figured out what I want. Why haven't I taken on the world and everyone thinks that I am the only one to provide all their needs, or something like this. Like, you know, different kind of complexes in limitation. But the thing is, they don't think it's limitation, which is Trump on stage right now. Oh my God. And you know how you can truly tell this? I don't know if anyone else sees it. Just want to look at how long I've been talking. I just want to say, you know how you can truly tell this, right? Because I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But you can truly tell this by... I posted on my Facebook page yesterday from keeping up with some of Brian Tyler Cohen's YouTube, because he's very good at looking straight into and expanding, but looking at the points associated with different political choices and choosing going on. But there was a video clip of Trump sitting with his assistant and all that nonsense that he's doing with that, being quite the show pony with all the, you know, as much as he can, attractive appearing women, wants to be beside them, because it's part of the whole sales thing, right? Men can be beside attractive women, or, you know, not so like cosmetically attractive or whatever. And that's fine. But you know how you can tell? Is that when he comes up against someone who's so authentic, there was in that clip, Kamala Harris, that him and his team were sitting around listening to Kamala. And sure, you do that. But just the competitiveness in the horrible nature. Like, we don't have to be horrible or anything. He didn't bring that horrible nature through so much, but just the instant reactions are just like trash. Whereas if we had a real leader, there wouldn't be like, because Trump goes personal all the time. He goes personal to the person. Whereas if you're a true leader, you're a part of like the bigger picture. You're not feeling defensive, like she's attacking you personally. She's standing up for like helping, and if he shut down his crap, and this is like where we're heading, I believe, in the world, that when you don't do that, when you don't look to throw to and fro and let yourself get into personal vendetta-ish kind of thing, because there's a competitive nature you've got going on behind the scenes. I want, and she's stopping me from my wants, because we're not here to serve you, him, his wants. You are here to serve in a bigger nature. You'll get paid, you'll have attention, you'll make connections. That's what you get. Like, but what a true leader also is they want to fulfill the fucking role. There's things to get done. Kamala. And he don't like that. He talks trash. So that's how you know. Just wait and watch and see how people respond to life. It's like, don't just let it slip by. I don't know. That might come with like maturity, obviously, to see that, but also there's a collective that just don't seem to look at his trash aspects, because they put a criminal back in. Like, a criminal's a criminal. Like, what the fuck? You pretty much put an empty leader in the seat. He don't give a shit if he doesn't respect the law and he gets people inciting violence. He's a complete idiot. He's not a leader. And I have no judgment against any occupation in this world, because everyone is trying to find their way. You do what you got to do to get by. But when I say this, that Trump needs to be a janitor. And it's funny that, because when I went looking at this little bargain store, I found a toilet brush stand that had a Trump head on it. It was even funnier at the time. I don't feel like laughing about it now because we need to see him out the door. So here we go. Fire horse here. We have picked up on the energy of that Chinese horoscope year. Speaking of horoscope, we have him in our scope. But it opens up, obviously, the true meaning to astrology, that all that energy it signifies with the movement of everything assisting us. Assisting us. Assisting us is not shitting on your fellow man. Yeah, Matthias, do you have anything to say about that? I really don't care. I know you're trying to move me and shit. I don't care. All I think about when I think of Trump is give him some toilet paper. And any one of his extended arms, like I already mentioned yesterday, Bondi, you know, give him some toilet paper. Because you want to look to people in leadership for an intelligent response. If you get a crap response, they're hiding something. They fight you back with ego. They try to put the blame back on you. Now, I'm not saying that one side is more perfect. I'm saying we're keeping each other awake and accountable. And those that are obviously don't give a shit for accountability of decency are going to just argue points instead of, yeah, I think I did go wrong there, you know. Like, Trump is mentioned more in the Epstein files than God is mentioned in the Bible. That is a true fact. But she didn't. She said the opposite, trying to deflect the Epstein connection. Which cannot be done now. Cannot be done. Things cannot be undone. So you either step up to the plate and be honest, because that's what it's asking. And then you might get on with life with some face. Like some honest face where people will believe in you. But it's just showing right to the core that he's willing to fucking lie right to the core. So, you know, when I said that, right to the core, I mean right to like where a plant is connected to the earth. He's willing to go all the way down in lies. Because he just has got more disgusting towards humans. And taking care of himself. This is the blind, we say unconscious, but they're well aware of what they're doing. What they don't believe is that taking good steps or in helping all. But you didn't come here to be selfish pricks. You just turned into them, decided you'd be one. That's conscious. You're deciding to be a entitled, selfish CUNT. I would like to have said something a little bit cleaner and nicer, but he's gone down to that drainage point. You know, people uphold themselves by the truth of their energy. So what's going on is on display. But his energy just keeps, he's got like, you know, you can feel the light in someone. I don't think I've ever heard anything apart from when he was sitting at a table and he brought everyone together for various connections in the world. What was that discussion about? I think there was a lot to do with, oh yeah, it was around the time when the UN was discussing different exchange percentages of, you know, buying certain things, all the different strategies of how everyone gets looked after. And like Trump loves to look like the businessman who, you know, is looking after everyone, but still trying to really get, you know, trying to make it look like he's helping everyone. Because we're not in competition with each other, but you can tell that there's that fake persona where he's trying, like it appeared that he was helping. He was very almost comical, the way he was being so hospitable. Yeah, anyway, I won't go on about it, but I mean, it doesn't take long to see and feel into, and then it's, oh God, is anyone buying this? Like he's trying to maneuver how he'll get everyone on side to look after himself. And I know we all know that there is stuff like that goes on, but he's like a purity of that. I know that doesn't make sense, but he is purely that. He will always have that ingrained nature. So I guess that's why his soul journey has played this part. He has this ingrained nature that is solely believes that like he has a quality in himself where his salesman is the part. So I guess you could say that's also joined with the accumulation on this planet of people doing that. That they can't, they can't find their way to realize that they are a part of all of it. Yeah, so that's the different levels of consciousness. Some will let go of that kind of crap and bow their head. And like I said, I don't mean everyone's gonna start doing this. I mean, when you bow your head, you are accepting that your head isn't doing all the work. That you are a part of something bigger, and you say thanks. So you can let your head get out of the way, and this energy balance between heaven and earth come up through you in clarity. That's how heaven helps us. That's the purity. And the more you connect with it, the more you learn about intuitive natures and how your intuitive nature as a soul can recognize working with heaven. So your intuitive nature is like your inner tuition, your inner tuit. Because you're allowing the bigger picture. You're not just a heavy head that to the worst extent can be like the Trump arrangement, where everyone is so convinced that if they put on this false face appearance, we're the ones that have got it worked out. Oh, look at that woman. Blah, blah, blah. You know, throwing out insults. Really emptiness. I can't wait to see Trump and Kamala in another debate. I don't know. Do we have... No, we don't have debates with the president when they're running for it, do they? No, it's just when the two are competing. No, actually, that's the way it works, right? I don't know. With politics and the order of it, wherever the debate comes into it, because she is the one to... But there's going to be more and more coming up as well. Don't you love seeing when someone like Kamala, where a good majority of population would still not believe in like a woman running the show? Don't you love, like I love the fact that she has got all we need. And I was going to swear then, but I held back, but it felt just right. She's got all we fucking need. That's a good thing. That's like... a tree growing. And that feels good at the heart. It's like, when you feel that about another light on the earth that can represent that, and it's like, you know, that's what feels good whenever anyone is popping up now, like lights out of themselves. Dare I say, God influence working through us, allowing the light of this evolution taking place. Okay, well, I think I covered everything, and I appreciate being able to share whatever flows through that I feel I need to get out into our new air. So yeah, if this has been an example of anything, it is don't stop bringing God through you. Even when people put shit smells right under your fucking nose. And I mean disgustingly, as though I'd put my nose right in the bowl of a crap. That's how it goes. So what kind of gentleman is on the other end of that for a divine awareness soul reunion? He's too busy still in whatever condition he's in, worried about distance. When it comes down to it, distance. He's trying to give me orders from a distance to live like crap. If I'd followed his choosing for me over the past few years, I'd live like crap. No one's come here to do that. Wake up. And see, I haven't finished, but what is the time? 49th minute. And see, you can't see God, right? You can live God. So when someone gets so consumed in 3D, does ridiculous things with a godlike, egoic demand complex for living, he couldn't possibly see from that energy field how God is working through me, how I actually know the opposite. I know what it's like to live this 3D and walk around wondering why people aren't feeling the way I feel. Inside, I always managed to find a place that I could connect to that was a good feeling place. And I couldn't imagine doing or saying or thinking what I saw go on in 3D. Excuse me. It's still going on because this is in like the disbelief. People actually think that way. People actually follow through on that. Do people actually think that's their only option? That's the big one. People actually think that doing that or saying that was their only option. Not that I am of a pristine, but I'm not doing anything to purposely put out crap. That's the difference. Because I would go, why in the hell would I do that? Yeah. See, that's the clarity right there. That when people don't take the steps to find a better feeling inside, they're not going to even think there's better options to act upon in life. And no one can do that for us. So you'd want to hope that your life experience, you've done enough good to lead you to those that remind you. Keep going there inside. Oh, don't worry about what's going on the outside. You stay strong and bring out who you are. The angels on this earth, as humans, at various times in our lives, well, in my life, I've noticed how people have said certain things that assisted me to come out of the shell instead of stay in thinking the world is horrible. Oh, well, they treated me like that, so that's who I am, so I'll give that out to the world. That's not who you are. And so that simplicity of truth there, maybe people don't hear that often enough. That you are not what's in the world, you are not what people told you are. But they don't actually let that sink in and step out more. It's just like noise to them, more noise of the world. But that's the truth. And you have to find it in yourself. So someone can say stuff to you, and if you don't want to have an ear to the heart to then give of yourself in a nice manner, or decide, well, actually, I don't have to do that because I've got all of this I could do. And that would lead to a better feeling thought. And thoughts are your life. So it is only yourself that is choosing your life. Okay, so I'm just going to take a minute now and connecting. 5 minutes left on the hour. Just a release, like I've recommended through this talk, that no matter where you're at, this is what you can do. You know, this is what I do. So and it's unfortunate that some people don't like it. Like, because Matthias will straight away then is trying to work his way into stopping it. So it's just unfortunate that such a soul can be swayed by such needing esteem from others. Your esteem is because, all of us, is because we're souls of God source energy. Our esteem isn't artificial, like no other human is actually like when you're at any point in your life, you're always going to have to find your central operation. Once you got that instigated and you're in flow with yourself, then you will attract in. But it's when the soul, or the person of the soul, decides that their esteem in life is not coming from God. Their esteem in life is the face and working on getting from the world. So they're essentially become like a lost soul perspective, where they're just constantly wanting to get, but never full. Because the humans aren't the God, like the God energy. The humans aren't. The one mind of God source. We're like cells in use for expansion. So to come here and put on to lose yourself in this field of life, where I am not of God's source, I am only that which they keep running. It's a very empty life. And they never actually crack into the center unless they crack into the center of themselves. So it's like saying, I need to keep this way of life. Almost pointing at me saying, how dare you come along and remind me that I am of the one God source. I am not the God source. Or something like that. It varies. Because that's what the mind can do in playing its games and tricks and things. It's like the person doesn't get back to at your core, actually operate from good intent and have trust in that. Good is God.
And be honest with yourself. If you're not, forgive yourself, bow your head, and resign letting good come through you. So the next moves I make for myself or for this world are of good nature, and that's all. If I'm having a hard time with myself, I'll go and bow my head and ask God to come through me. Now, you're not asking a particular person, a he or a particular, like she or anyone, but you can, but they actually have to leave your mind as well. It's about the energy. You'll feel it. And it only happens when you can resign who you think you've become. Because if you look at, say, my life, for example, if I thought I was just one thing back in, say, my 20s, I'd be miserable now. I'm thinking it. I have to make sure my life revolves around it. This is who I am. I would probably be dead now. Because that's definitely not of the Aquarian flow. It's not of the flexibility of soul. It's utilizing your own mind to take you down. Whereas the spirit and the soul is expansion. If you want to change, change. But don't think you have to kick the world, like kick people or kick anything around to become something more. Because that's just like coming from an empty place. Because good is the nature of who you are, essentially. So people struggle with that because the mind, they tell themselves they're not good, or the world has shown me this, the world does this, the world tells me this. So they fully identify with it. So this is the big wake-up call reminder. Let it go, would you? Let it go. So yeah. Back when I was going to finish this video, when I think I hit around the 10-minute mark where I'd covered it, and I said I'd offer you a tip. I said, you're essentially letting go. So as much as you can recognize that mind can get you to start to get the emotions on board and feeling a certain way, we're not here to suffer. We can create suffering via mind talk, mind belief, and get into suffering that is not of the soul's path or the spirit's natural nature. So remember, that's who you are. So essentially, you want to remove your focus to following down things apart from, if you are faced with a challenge, be in the challenge, but let the mind go to letting God for the expanse understanding of why something is happening. Remember, life is not like a walk in the park, perfection the whole way, but we get more and more into that park of life that becomes like a beautiful space. I hope you get what I mean. It's like at the start of your journey, or like during your journey, you have troubles and you fall down on that path, walking through your park. You can't quite see where good is going to come from, where love is, etc. But you get back up and you hop on that path, and it's normally light that would get you incrementally back on your feet. So then you have this understanding, belief, and experience of light. You keep going along your path in the park, for example. something else happens and you feel like you fall on your face, or someone's pushed you and you fell over backwards or something like that. Okay, you've had a challenge. Expand, resign, listen to God. Meaning, if we quiet enough, we'll connect with our spirit and souls, and they have their own nature and way of speaking. So, learn more of intuition. Everyone, it's an inbuilt awareness. It's just whether we give awareness to it. And you can see how I was using the example with the park. You're bringing more light the more you expand your awareness and not get stuck sitting back on a certain part of the path as though you've come here to suffer. You got to get back up. But in the getting back up is the glory, meaning glory is not to do with materials. It can show in your abundance of coming back on in life. But it's like the glory is, I'm not here to suffer. There is good in the world. I have lots to offer. I'll keep doing this because it's all you can do if you've come here to expand. We are cells of the universe to help expand it. Let's connect with each other with the light of our own cell. That's what I mean by life gets, because you're not here forever and you're not going to go through challenges consistently, or you're going to get through some big challenges, you're going to have some little challenges, and it's all about like getting back up and opening. What do you learn in that process of opening, where it can feel like you shed heavy energy, like you've been torn apart at times, because you got to take the coat off. You got to shed the energy of limitation into truth. That God is helping us every moment. It's winter. I don't mind an iced coffee. Otherwise I'd have to keep heating this thing. I think that's it. Yeah, it ought to be for now, because I've shared plenty. Thank you. God bless. I mean, I know I could keep going. It's just a feeling at the chest in an unblocked response to heaven. And that's my soul, and that's